10 years ago, this part of India's west coast was deserted swampy land. But today, we have a major port here, a giant gateway serving the whole of the northwestern region. How did this come about? As is well known, India, with a coastline of about 3,500 miles, had only 5 major ports: Bombay, Cochin, Madras, Vishakhapatnam and Calcutta. These port facilities were taxed to the maximum. They had a total capacity of handling 20 million tons of cargo per year, capacity just enough to cope with existing traffic. At times there was congestion in the ports, resulting in heavy loss to the country. Soon, national economy expanded. Trade and commerce increased. More million tons of cargo had to be handled. The need for an additional port became imperative. In 1948, the Government of India appointed a committee to recommend a suitable site for a major seaport on the stretch of coast covering Kathiawar and Kutch. The committee recommended the Kandla Creek in the eastern extremity of the Gulf of Kutch. The creek forms a natural sheltered harbour with ample depth for ocean-going vessels. The minor port already functioning here showed that even larger ships could come in as there was sufficient room for anchorage and turning space. A further advantage was Kandla's geographical position. Besides relieving the pressure on Bombay port, Kandla is about 200 miles nearer than Bombay to places located in the hinterland. The decision to build the Kandla port was taken in September 1948. The collection of data on the topography of the creek was the first step of a massive undertaking. An aerial survey covering the entire creek system was completed during 1949-50. A hydrographic survey of the creek and its approaches was also carried out and completed in 1951. The purpose of the survey was to determine the depth of the creek at various points. Meanwhile, a land survey had been conducted at the site from the middle of 1949 to the middle of 1950. Boring operations revealed that the subsoil consisted of soft clay up to a depth of 40 feet. It was probably the softest soil in the world, and the building of a harbour on it presented a tremendous challenge. Undeterred by these difficulties, our engineers went ahead with the job of planning the project, which would serve 275,000 square miles of hinterland and a population of 45 million. International engineering firms with experience in this very specialized work were asked to submit their quotations and designs for the project. After months of labor, a blueprint was finalized and accepted. The plan consisted of a cargo jetty with accommodation for 4 deep water berths, 3 transit sheds and 4 double-storied warehouses. In addition, there would be 2 passenger berths for ferry boats, a floating dry dock and a bandar. An oil berth was also planned. On January 10, 1952, Prime Minister Nehru arrived to lay the foundation stone for the major harbour work. Top priority was given to Kandla's communication with the hinterland. The region was linked with the country's main railway network. Work on the Kandla-Disa section started in 1949-50 and was completed 2 years later. In October 1952, India's President Dr. Rajendra Prasad came to inaugurate this vital railway link, the first tangible evidence that the Kandla project was underway. At the project site, the first problem presented itself. The land on which the port was to be built was low and was always submerged at high tide. A bund was to be erected to enclose the construction area and to protect it from tidal waters. An earthen bund was considered the cheapest and most effective defense against the tide, and work on it had to be done at top speed. Where the tidal current was strong, steel sheet piles were driven to hold the water out. The construction pit was further deepened by excavators. The soil dug up during these operations was transported to reclaim low-lying areas near the project site. Nearby, a plant to produce reinforced concrete piles started functioning. Because of the soft soil, the entire port and dockside would have to be built on columns, resting on reinforced concrete piles. These piles would have to be produced in considerable quantity. They would be driven into the soft soil to great depths till firm stratum was reached. Each would have to bear a heavy load. One long pile after another was produced and taken away for curing. Kandla would stand on these legs. They must be strong and enduring. At last, all was ready for preparing the foundations of India's 6th major port. A huge and coordinated organization moved into action. The first reinforced concrete piles were lifted into position for driving into the ground. Operation Kandla had begun. Some piles were driven into the ground at an angle. These piles, called raker piles, would resist the shock of earthquakes and ship thrusts against the docks. Over 12,000 piles were driven into the ground to a depth of 70 feet to form the foundation of Kandla port. Placed end to end, these piles would cover a length of over 150 miles.